Hello.
We recently jumped on a plane during sunset, took some bad video of some lightning out of the window to spend a long weekend in Penang. Penang is an island off the east coast of Malaysia, and despite only living an hour away, I've never been there before. The main city in Penang is Georgetown, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. To the northeast of the island is a coastal resort town called Batu Ferenghi. I probably butchered that name. So beaches, beer, the sea, this is where we stay. Now, we did take a cab into Georgetown, and it's definitely somewhere that I would like to go back to and spend more time there. We visited the famous clan jetties that were built by Chinese migrants in the 19th century. Our taxi driver claimed that the original structures that were built were made from the boats that the migrants came to Penang on. I do not know if that's true or not. So all I can say about Georgetown is owned by SpaceBar Coffee is very good for a cup of coffee. And for lunch or dinner, there's a restaurant called Tong that's along Armenia Street, which is in the Heritage District. Delicious. Highly recommended. Personal opinion, but I would avoid the Asia Camera Museum that sits across the road from the restaurant. For me, it was very disappointing. Back in Batu Ferenghi, I did some obvious things like flying my drone and field recording. So most of the field recordings I did of the sea lapping against the coast were done after sunset because there's just numerous jet skis and boats during the day. So I waited for the sun to go down and I recorded this. Yes, there is a drone video that you're about to see, but the recording was done over night time. Enjoy. Now, the resort and the town is pretty quiet, but it does mean you're a little bit closer to nature. And one morning we woke up to a troop of monkeys raiding the hotel balconies, which was fun. After the excitement of monkeys throwing things off of the balconies, we made our way to Penang National Park. This is one of the things during our long weekend that I enjoyed the most. Be aware you do have to pay to enter the park, and once you're inside, facilities are pretty limited. And whilst the trekking paths are generally pretty shaded, I'd recommend not doing what we did and go in the middle of the day when the sun is at its hottest. We melted. It was worth it though. We got to see water monitor lizards, macaques causing trouble like they were at the hotel that morning, and also the slightly endangered Dusky leaf monkey. That's a tongue twister. Dusky leaf monkey. These monkeys almost look like they're wearing glasses, and their babies, the juvenile ones, are bright orange. A little bit like miniature ginger brothers, I guess. Now, we were trekking, so I didn't get too close and I had the wrong camera lenses, but it was good to see them and they seemed a lot less mischievous than the macaques. I did try to do some field recording in the jungle. I did capture the sounds of some birds and some waterfalls and some other stuff. But one of the problems in Penang National Park with trying to do field recordings, especially on the trekking paths, is they follow the coast generally. The ones along the coast, you get the constant mechanical hum of boats, so I wasn't that happy with any of the field recordings I got, unfortunately. But it was still worth doing the trek, and by the time we made it to one of the rest spots, I was quite grateful for the boats because we paid 50 ringgit to get back to town because we had absolutely melted. So we were only in town for a short weekend, so we didn't do much more than that other than sit on the beach, eat some food, drink some beers, all of the typical holiday things. The sunsets are beautiful, by the way, particularly in Batu Ferenghi, which I still believe I'm butchering, so correct me in the comments if I'm screwing that up. Despite my best efforts, I didn't manage to film myself field recording as much as I had originally planned to. That being said, I did get quite a few decent field recordings on the trip, so if you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, I will put a link to all of them once I get a chance to finish editing them. So Penang, at least initial impressions from a long weekend, is that it's an amazing city. I definitely want to go back, and I want to go back pretty soon. Malaysia is always a good place to go. I have a soft spot for it in my heart because it was the first place in Asia that I ever visited. The people are friendly, the food is great, it's easy to get around, it's easy to communicate with people, but there's so much to explore in the country, so definitely one of my favorite places in Asia. That's the end of today's video. Penang, very good. Bye bye.